Yeah,
Okay.
you can put that anywhere.
And then can you put that mud finish, that base plaster?
You
finish
just put
on
some
top?
kind of like chicken wire, something to capture it, or this lap that we put on everything. Put something like that on it, and you can cover it. Yeah, you can do a mud finish to it.
Have you decided where the kitchen area is gonna go?
No, we haven't. It's gonna let Fran pick to like whatever extent she can.
Sorry, another question.
It's okay.
We have time. So the concrete is structural right now. This.
This stuff?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Could you put just Adobe if you want to avoid
Yeah.
a bit more concrete?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do the full thing in Adobe.
You can totally pack out with Adobe.
Okay.
The only structural thing that this concrete's doing now is keying all these tires together, make it really hard for them to push out, if that was ever going to happen.
Okay.
I don't think it ever has happened, but that's the only structural thing they're doing. And it's
So it has been done in Adobe before.
yeah.
Okay.
Where did we do that? Philippines. We did that completely with Adobe. But yeah, you need a lot of time to work with Adobe.
Well, here's a question on that with the Adobe. Okay, so could you do like just to get it going and like do concrete like to the stage you got it now,
Yeah.
and then finish with Adobe?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what we're doing here, but we're taking it one step further with concrete because we know that if we went and tried to put Adobe, basic rule of thumb with Adobe is that you can never apply more than an inch at a time, and that inch has to be fully cured before you apply the next inch.
Really? Okay.
Right. So that's like a rule of thumb with like any urban plastering that you're doing. It's different if you're doing something monolithic like a cob house. You can have like a foot and a half or 2 feet a day, and that's fine. It doesn't even need to be set for the next part to go on. But that house will still take like 6 months to dry. Takes a really long time.
I know that, at least I understand that it's going to be plant matter that sort of cycles or cleans the blackwood.
Yeah.
How long does it take to like get an Earthship sort of running so that it's all
Yeah.
cycled and it's sort of everything and the heat and everything is sort of doing what it's
That's a question for Mike. I don't know the answer to that question.
I think he said it would take like a year to get the tires where they need to be.
Okay.
So I would imagine the water wouldn't take that long.
It's going to take a really long time to fill that septic, and for that septic to then overflow into that bed. And the septic's probably never ever going to leave that bed. With probably only like 4 people using it,
Okay.
everything's going to get eaten by those plants.
So when the septic's going to fill first, and then it goes back into the greenhouse.
Yeah,
And then,
so it's all going to get primed with water,
yeah.
and then everything's going to go into that septic. The solids, the liquids, everything goes into the middle of that tire septic, and then the liquids and the like microscopic solid matter, as it breaks down, will feed through all the tires.
Okay.
So it's a really like cowboy like filter for solids, and it like slowly just works its way out, feeds into the garden, and by that point it's like ready for plants to deal with.
Okay. So do you bring in fully grown plants? Like
Well, there's no rush to, because it's going to take a while for that to really be like
so you
feeding your
grow
system
the
well.
greenhouse.
Yeah, you
Or it's going to be the only place that's going to be grass in a year.
Yeah.
Harry, we're doing some compost for them.
Yeah.
Would that be overkill with the way the septic? Would the nutrient, would it be too rich?
I mean, I'm the wrong person to ask about that as well, to be honest. But I'm sure they could use it. I don't think it's overkill. Yeah. It's more controllable than the septic. You know, it's easier to monitor that, and you can add more or add less if the plants aren't that good.
Outside, so we've got like dual glazed glass.
Yep.
Is there an advantage or disadvantage to going to like triple glazed?
More insulative, more expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, either or would work.
It would work better. It would hold the heat in more. Right. So with glass, you're sacrificing thermal mass,
Right.
And you're sacrificing insulation for light.
Right.
But you get sunlight through it. The more insulated you can make that, the less heat you're going to lose through. All the heat in this building is going to leave through
But
those
I want to get in
frozen
there.
areas. The only point for it to leave. It's like definitely not going that way or that way. Probably not going that way. There's a lot of insulation up there now.
Well, Okay, so with those cooling tubes in, when they're open,
Yeah.
that's pulling air in, right? And
That
helps.
pulls the air out.
And so it
Yeah.
kinda helps get an airflow going maybe too.
That's exactly what it's here for.
Yeah.
So these are convection tubes to pull air in. They won't do anything unless that vent box is open.
Yeah.
Like a fireplace.
Yeah, exactly. Like it, look.
So would you actually feel like an air current at all, or not really?
Yeah, if you open that right now, you'll
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
an air current.
You do now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have there been any mold issues using these?
Not towels.
Not that I've heard about.
In humid climate,
So just because it's so humid here, that was my concern, and the fluctuations between winter and summer are quite a lot, like 70 degrees Celsius
Yeah.
straight, plus
I mean,
35, minus 35.
It's really simple,
And it moves
like
all the air.
galvanized steel pipe. You can hose it out, you can disinfect it, you
that's
can do whatever you want with that.
As long as you're staying on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see all the way to the
So
other
that
side.
you could get a what do you call it, high
Pretty
pressure
easy.
hose.
is it tea tree oil? I think you can.
Or yeah, and
Yeah,
No, for
smell
real?
lovely.
Yeah, no, it does. It works great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Pi Canadien, like you know those bags that you pull out the house.
Yeah.
The Pi Canadien. Canadian well or whatever. I don't know. That's what I've heard somebody do. Like she would put this a rag at the entry of tea tree oil. She
Oh, yeah.
soak in tea tree oil and let it go for a while, and it would disinfect apparently the.
Yeah.
I can imagine that would be a spring thing to do if they were closed all winter, they might
Spring cleaning.
Yeah.
condensate and.
Yeah, people generally open in winter as well. These places get hot.
Yeah, they get hotter in the winter because of the sun coming in deeper, heating up more of the
They get
ground
really
and
warm.
everything. Oh, it's too hot in here in the winter. Nah.
Okay, so the cisterns, there's a big one at the back of this, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was told, under the impression that the ones in Taos have more because they only get, like when it does rain, they want to catch as much as they can. So when they put them at the back,
Yeah.
do they make sure that they're going what am I trying to say? They don't want to take away from the mast, right? So if there's more of them, how do they position them to make sure
They are mass. Water's the most massive mass. Yeah, that mass is. Yeah, water's really good.
They could go around the back.
Yeah, totally. We line the whole back of the building with them.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. There
Yeah.
was like
And there
train.
is a layer of
But
insulation.
what if they're not full?
Sorry?
If
Yeah,
they're-
what if they're not full? It's just air. So that's why there's a layer of insulation between us and the tank. Yeah. So we've got our 4 inches there still. If they're not full, it's not going to affect us. If they are full, it just makes it a little harder for that heat to try and leave out the back wall. Yeah. But yeah, you can put as much water around. Water's really good at transfer of heat. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So a lot of those passive water heating systems do exactly that. They're just like black pipes with water running. The most simple of them is just black pipes with water in them, and as they heat up, it makes the water rise and move through it, and that replaces it with cold water. Super conductive.
Oh yeah, so if you had multiple tanks, do you still just have the one inlet coming in? Do you like,
We have different systems, but yeah, we will split them.
you can split them,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
And we
shut off from each other.
we do that just for maintenance reasons sometimes. And if you're running different systems in a house, sometimes it's convenient to not be pulling all your pressure from one point.
And so you had a kitchen over here and then a bathroom here, and you would run one into the kitchen, one into the bathroom?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, you just make those calculations based on your needs, basically what you want to do with all that water. Yeah.
The WOM says WOM, right? Yeah, WOM, and POM is power. Yeah, curious, curious. Yeah.
Have you had enough?
Thank you.
Nice, very long.
Cool.
Would you ever do it smaller?
Smaller? Tall.
Yeah, but I'm not, I'm thinking if I were making a survival unit, why would I have like,
Yeah, we can make it smaller.
This really would affect weight.
Nope. The only like consideration would be that if you're putting a tank behind it, that tank still needs to gravity feed,
right,
and so it needs to be high enough. So the tanks come in all shapes and sizes. You just keep that in mind. That whatever tank you want to put back there still needs to be high enough to gravity feed into your house. And the higher you can put it, the better.
Because
The more
less
pressure
you
you're
have to
gonna
worry
get.
about gravity.
Yeah.
It takes care of it.
Sorry.
And it's
Yeah.
depending on where you are, the building code would restrict you.
That I've built, yeah. I mean, there's one in Taos which is like 4 stories, but it's not buried like this. You know, it's a standalone structure.
Which one is it? Thank you.
Like Eve or towers. Eve's kind of huge, you know. The roof of Eve.
I've seen it.
That's what
It's not different.
Cool.
There needs to be more YouTube videos coming out of Taos.